Hello, everybody. This is Wise Exotics. I'm your host, Trevor Wise. This is my Nepenthes collection that I own and started during COVID. A couple of you have asked questions about setups and such, and I will go over that, as well as the birds. Quick little brief bio over this, as people are new and randomly stumble across YouTube's. Uh, I have no real background in botany or whatnot. I enjoy studying and looking at these Nepenthes. I have background in engineering, robotics, and IT and computers. So that's my thing. I'm a very technology oriented person. And so I got into Nepenthes because they're fun. And I had fear of carnivorous plants and wanted to get over it. So that was the researching and owning a few was the easiest way. And I ended up growing a collection of these, weirdly enough. Let's see. If you are new to these plants, Nepenthes are a carnivorous species of plant. They're akin to like an orchid almost in looks, but at the end of each of these plants, they drop a tendril, and from the tendril are a pitcher. They're called the tropical pitcher plant or Asian pitcher plant, depending on where you're looking. So if you're interested in them, they're very easy to look up. There's Carnivero, there is predatory plants, and California carnivores here in the United States that I can name offhand really easily. There are a lot of other subgrowers that are new and or do their own growing, whatnot, small time, or individual collections such as myself. There is also going to be next week a Bay Area Carnivorous Plant Society hosts a big gathering and up in the Bay Area, which is near me. They're about a few hours away. I'm planning to personally try to go if I can. So it'll be my first time going. Was not able to go last year, so I'm hopefully going to go and see. Either my best friend is possibly going to come with me, and my mother is interested in seeing it. So there is that. Let's see. Nepenthes are broken up into 4 categories. There is lowland, which are fast growing. They like it hot and humid. There's intermediate, which little less hot, little less humid, but still within like household range. When I say hot, I mean lowland can handle up to like 90s, and they like it 90s something, about 96, 98, and they have no problem with that. High humidity. Humidity is a real key in growing the lowlands. I've had issues growing them. I personally live in a valley which has cooler days, very overcast, which is more suitable to another range of these plants, which are called highland, which are these type for the most part. There is a few lowland in here because they're being weird, and I don't understand why they like it, but they do. So I don't question it and let them grow. Let's see. There's also a final type, which are the more difficult, and these are the more challenging ones. They're called Ultra Highland. I do have a few in there. One to name off is called Diabolica. Let's see, Macrophilia. There's Velosa. These are more toothy. They can be really like edgy looking. As an example, there's a couple. This is my little Ultra Highlands are all in here. I will pull this out in a bit. Yeah, so ultras like it even more cooler. Highlands and even ultra highlands like what are called a night drop. So temperature at night has to drop within a certain range, usually anywhere from 5 to up to 15 degrees. It depends on the species, mind you. But overall, they like bright indirect light. I'm currently using, as people have asked, a fancy little LED bulbs there with a 2-flick switch. Underneath here is 2 LEDs sets that I got on Amazon for 20 bucks. That is actually primarily what I use for my lowlands, and they seem perfectly happy with it. The highlands, a few of them seem to need a little more light, so thus I added the 2 spotlights. And since I've done that, I've had no problems, no issues, and a couple of the plants even looked a lot healthier, so I'm continuing to do as such. Let's see. Now, as some have asked, and I have gone over this, I currently keep these inside of a glass room. There are 6 birds, 3 lovebirds, Bonnie, Clyde, and Iggy, which is their daughter. This is Sweet Pea, which is a parakeet. Let's see, over here is Polo and Hummer, which are both red-tailed African greys. Very intelligent birds, same level as a small child brain-wise, but very smart, very intelligent, very sweet. Polo. Polo is very defensive of a couple of birds, so she'll try to bite me in the butt if I get too close to them and I'm not paying attention. Nothing to really hurt, but it's more of a warning. Uh, these birds are, most of my animals are rescues, so one way or another, they have their own little issues. Hummer here, if Hummer sees the sky pure blue above directly, will have seizures. Don't really know why, just happens. So, like when I take him, there's this covered thing to vets or whatnot. We tend to keep him inside and uh, not have that issue. Or, as you can see, there are blinds that we adjust and come in and keep the plants and the birds from getting barbecued and having issues. Polo, her mate died and she's been attacked by cats, stray cats before by while being a previous owner, left her outside and cats mauled her. She's doing fine as you can see. But Polo really enjoys watching TV, so there is a Roku TV in here, literally Netflix, YouTube, you name it. She tends to watch Monk. It's a TV show, detective. I think she likes his mannerisms and behavior personally, but pretty much has watched that entire series from start to finish. I can't tell you how many times. Uh, like started to also recently watch Highlander and Murder She Wrote, which I don't know about that, but someone else on the subscribers noticed it. And yes, I can confirm that's what she was watching. I have no control of what Paula watches. I just let her do it. Sometimes I'll come in here and I'll turn on Netflix and watch with the birds and hang out. There is a chair. It is a full recline, so it can lay all the way back. There is a bird stand. There is the outside. There are stray cats, so they get fed outside. That is my old greenhouse that I used to keep the Nepenthes in. During the winter, it got way too cold this year. It dropped into like the low 32s, which is deadly to most of these. Most Nepenthes can handle up to about 40 degrees. I've had a couple of the Highlands handled down into the 30s, but they did get frost damage, and so I moved them in here. So keep them from getting hurt, having any problems. Overall, yeah. So as this has been a long going kind of intro, I'm going over this as people have asked me to do this. Let's see. At the beginning of this year, I was diagnosed with cancer. So for the last couple of years, it's just been me talking about the plants. As of March on, I've been going through chemo treatments. I finished my third chemo treatment 2 weeks ago. I'm probably going to go into a fourth soon, but as of today, I get a PET scan to see how my cancer is going. I have a cancer of the blood and a lymph node, which is called lymphoma cancer. Diffuse B cell. It is highly aggressive. My doctor has been, my oncologist and my doctors have been, putting me through hell to get treatment and survive and, get rid of the cancer. So it's not been a fun experience, but overall, I've been chugging through it. I don't have any nausea or vomiting. My main issues is I have like nerve pain and zings, and I can't feel my fingertips anymore. So that's really fun to try to like grab stuff and move. You can see your hand, but it's like you can't feel. I can feel basically down to here, but past this point, I can't feel on my finger. Not a fun thing, and I know other people are going through fun medical experiences, but this directly affects my plant collection because I was to be an outpatient initially and only going once a week, but then my cancer was reclassified as aggressive and I became a inpatient. So for each month of this year, I've literally been stuck 1 full week in the hospital, and my plants are either left to their own devices or my family has come and tried to take care of them to the best of their knowledge. I wrote them a how to take care of. It's pretty simple. You put water in the tray, turn the lights on, turn the lights off. And the main lights are timer, but these spotlights are not, so I have to figure a setup for that eventually. So far I have lost plants. Third time I didn't lose any. I will state as of this time I did lose one plant this week, and that was my little seedling glendiflora that's been just struggling since I got it. It was a freebie. It's just been rotting away, and I've tried everything I could, and it finally died. So I did lose one plant. But that's been an ongoing battle. That's nothing to do with the cancer. It's just the plant itself has its problem. Some Nepenthes have their own struggles, are really sensitive. If you get seed grown, you can either get, wow, a really durable plant, or wow, a really sensitive plant. So in my experience with seed grown and whatnot, I have what are called variegated ones. That means they're different colored than normal. They have markings on the leaves. I've had a few of those just by pure random luck, and I never expected it. Kind of thought the plants were sick. I guess even one of my subscribers talked to me because I'm on Instagram as Wise Exotic. A little green owl, same icon. A bunch of you guys have been talking to me during my stays at the hospital or during my treatments, and I really appreciate it because I'm literally sitting in a bed for basically 24 hours, 7 days a week during these chemo bursts, and it's basically really boring. I end up watching the Food Channel a lot. They take blood. I just lay in the bed. I'm allowed to get up and do stuff. I'm not allowed to carry more than 10 pounds after spinal tap chemo. But during normal chemo, I'm not allowed to pick up more than 50 pounds. So they restrict that. I'm currently was forced to go on disability due to this condition. It's not fun. Yeah. So, depressing talk aside, an overview of the glass room, whatnot. There is also a heater over there and a main heater from the house that pumps in that is behind the lowland tank. Plants have been doing well beyond losing the glandiflora. Let's go down here. These are my lowlands. So in here I have quite a few new ones I've added. I did repot a few recently, which are these two big Globosa crossreticularias. Beautiful picture on that one, if I could lift it up without hurting it. Beautiful stripes in red. Really impressed with it. Let's see, these are three of my newer ones over here. This is a Roku Bashiana cross Sumatra cross Loei cross Veitchii. This is my new bicolatera. As you can see, it's already got a growth tip. It seems to be doing happy. This is a seed grown from Carniveros, orange cross red breeding. Next to it here is my Sumatra, which is interesting. The lid's actually auto-closed when I opened this up. I was trying to air it out. I need to add some water in here, maybe. Let's see. That is an Albomarigonata. There is also a little Albomarigonata right there at the bottom. Doing perfectly fine. It's a seedling that I got from Hawaii. It's actually funny. That one was more expensive than that one, which is the BE clone, I believe. But it doesn't actually say that, so I'm not sure. This is one of my Globosa rafflencias. It's another large plant. Let's see, right here at the front is one of my original plants. It's Nepenthes jungle bells. It's never given me a picture. It just grows. Next to that, if I could read it, is a Glaminiflora costenus. Another one gives me little nodes, but no pictures. Let's see, next to that is a Rafflencia cross Ampular Black Miracle cross Globosa. It's doing better. It didn't want a picture for a while, but seems to be coming back. And here is a Globosa Himalaya. Himalayana is a cousin to Rafflencia. They actually grow these really weird upper pictures that are specific to bats. Bats live inside of them and whatnot. Very interesting species. Let's see. You can see my Albomarigonata had a new picture back there. I was mad when I was repotting. I actually bumped it and tore off one. I was not happy with myself. This is a Highland species right here. I will get to that. Its sibling is on the other side. I got two as a freebie. This is a Diotis. This is also a Diotis. Right here is a Rafflencia white that's seed grown. It's crossed with two. Over here is a very large Rafflencia. This is a speckled version. I got it for 20 bucks. Just noticed its tendril is caught. I'm trying to keep it from being having issues. Next to that is my truncata that's seed grown. It seems to be doing perfectly well in lowland condition or highland. They're very variable species. These three right here are all siblings. They are a cross between Globosa and an Ampular Black Miracle. but they are a back crosser. They're what is called an F2. So you have one breed with another that's the exact same type. So you get a lot of very weird traits. One is variegation and speckling. So this one's variegated, this one is speckled, this one is speckled. Almost a little bit of variegation. Next to it here, this is a very complex hybrid, which I lost the main tag for. It has a seed sibling right here. As you can see, big difference between the two, but it's yellow, red, so I call it lemon cherry. Yeah, I know it's Clombasa crossed with Black Miracle and a bunch of back crosses. Over here are two plants that are from Josh's Carnivorous Plants. By the way, he's got a sale going this weekend, and I myself snagged a seed-grown bongso from him. So for $17.99, and then you have shipping and whatnot. But pretty good. These two are seed grown from him. This one and that one. As you can see, there's quite a big difference. Very lightly colored leaves on this one, but this one's got the red speckling, but they're the exact same cross. I believe the Black Miracle speckling came out better in this one. It's got these little green tips on the top. I find it very cute. This one is more Viking, Ukraina, very striped and speckled. Very good. Next to it there is a Clipiata cross bongso that I was trying to see if it would handle lowland conditions better. It's already popped a new leaf and growth tips. It's been doing happy. These two right here are seed grown Spectabilis cross, I believe, Ventricosa. This one is a Mira Spectabilis. No, it's Spectabilis. Sorry, I'm trying to find the tag. One of them has the tag. Here it is. It is a Spectabilis cross Ventricosa. Next to it here is a variegated Nepenthes gracilis, and then this is my Nepenthes suki. I'm not really sure what this is. It started growing here, but it's a cute little plant, so I just kind of left it alone. The gracilis is from Hawaii. So overall, that's my lowland plants. I'm hoping the truncata will do a larger picture soon, but so far my Rafflencias seem to be doing really happy in these lowland / highland intermediate mix. Up here is one of my newer plants. This is a Nepenthes Lowii Veitchii Belchiana Veitchii Maxima cross Veitchii Platykyla. And the main growth tip was damaged here, and I literally did super glue the two cauterized points that were right here together down to just hold the leaf in place because it kept trying to snap further and I didn't want it to. No issues doing that since I've done that. It's been a few days. Thought I'd point that out. So my hope is eventually the growth tip will pop and it'll continue to grow healthily and normally. If not, it'll grow a new node further down and continue growing. It's a very interesting peristome, big flare. Really like this chocolate striping, and it's getting kind of a reddish gradient going through. This is one of its younger pictures. This was from Greenwood Exotics. Very nice guy. He's also on Instagram. Chat with him a bit. These are my two little orchids that I picked up for $10. I'm not sure what this little purple plant is. My mother gave it to me as a gift because I had taken the Nepenthes away from Rex here, who is my bearded dragon, where he's playing in the water. Yes, he has his own little bathtub. There's also a Venus flytrap my mother sent me. These are some cuttings of a rose called Secret. I can't remember what this is. It's a bush. My mother wanted me to see if I could grow it for her. She has a bunch of them. Okay, let me come over to here. I'm going to pause for a second, grab the Ultra Highlands because they're easier to go over than the regular Highlands. Okay, and we're back. So the Nepenthes that I have in the Ultra Highland chamber, that's what I call it. It's really a seedling tray with two white trays to just make sure they don't ever get raw. I could get good aeration. My videos can only go up to 30 minutes, so I'm at almost 20, so I'm just giving everybody a reminder. So about 10 more minutes and the video will cut, and I'm planning to end it. I'll go over not as the Highlands, not as much in detail because there's just so many of them. But I will go over the newer ones. So right here is a Hamada, and a Hamada. This is my beloved Diabolica, as you can see. growing perfectly fine. This is an AW Diabolica number 4. It is a female, confirmed. So this is a clone. This is not from seed. Next to it is a Bongso, which is from seed. Not Bongso, Naga, man. I have Bongso on the mind because I ordered that from Josh, so I'm all excited. I really wanted to try to grow Bongso because I have a few plants that are crossed with it. I've actually never seen nor owned a Bongso before, so I was really excited that he was selling a bunch of seedlings. They're really tiny. They're probably about that size, but excited. This is a Velosa Hamada I've been growing for about half a year now, and it's been putting on newer and newer growth, bigger and bigger pictures. Seems very happy. I love its toothiness, the color. When they open, apparently for like the first day, maybe a couple hours, the teeth are yellow, and then they immediately darken. So I've never actually caught it opening, so I'm trying to catch that one little picture node opening so I can get the yellow teeth. Here's my hope. Let's see, right here is my Raja. I've grown 3 of these. I lost 2 when I first tried. They were the Thomason's ult. This is the BE3152. I've had no problems with this one. In fact, if you look below it, it actually has a basil already. So there actually are 2 plants. So for the plant I lost, I actually got 2 for my $50 purchase of this little Raja. It's been doing quite well, putting on newer growth and pictures. It's at least doubled in size, if not tripled, since I have had it. Right here is a Robicantlii. It's got a new leaf. Just popped a new leaf node. It's going to go out and become a new leaf. I really like the Robicantlii because it's truncated. This one doesn't seem to be black in color, but more reddish. I know I've seen some Robs that are red and some that are black colored. No real expectation. That is my seed-grown macrophilia. It is a very slow growing plant. I actually have a whole bunch of seedlings of these I am currently growing, supposedly. So hopefully they will pop and I can, give everybody updates on how those are growing stage-wise, but they are very slow to grow. Next to it is my Velosa. It's already put on a nice leaf jump. Good picture. Good leaf. The newest leaf on this was smaller, but it's darker, so I'm hoping it's doing well. Over here is one of the plants that I've been I'm just going to pull it all the way out. So this is an Edwardsiana. These are a very notorious, hard to grow Nepenthes. Polo, what's the matter? Polo making music over there. I think she's mad I have turned off her thing. So my first picture of this did open. This is actually an orangish color. Good teeth, good ribbing. So this is an Edwardsiana. I do have another picture node and a bigger, healthier leaf. So I'm hoping this is doing fine during my my care of it. So that is my Ultra Highland tank. I keep this little dome on top. I'm going over the details as people do ask. Every morning I usually either do this or I just take the dome fully off and leave it for about 5 minutes. Let's see, so for my Highlands, there's quite a few newer ones. They've all been doing really well. This is my Raja Cross Edwardsiana. I've been growing it in the humidity dome. It's recently been pulled out. Look at the pictures turned bright red, immediately being pulled out. They've got nice toothiness to them. Right in there, these two are the same plant hybridization. Brixiana, Veitchii cross Brixiana transmatiensis. They're the same exact type. They're both from predatory plants. They're called a Valiant Beast. This one, I had just popped its new picture. I've seen it has stripes. These haven't had stripes yet, and the example of this was like a neon orange plant, so I'm very intrigued to see how it's doing. This is called Lovely Serpent. This is a cross between, if I remember, something with Truncata, Lowii Veitchii Bashiana cross Singulana Hamada. So no Truncata, I was completely wrong. But it's one I'm really hoping to see how it develops because I have no idea. It's going to be toothy, flared, or striped, or all the above. Next to it over here is a Clipiata cross Veitchii that I got newer. Up here is my variegated Clipiata At least that's what it looks to be. It has striping through it. I've talked to other people, seen theirs. Usually the leaves don't have this type of marking. So apparently this is a variegated Clypeata. Yay, my random capacity to find variegated. Up here is a newer one that I did not show it during the unboxing because it was covered. This was sent by Greenwood Exotics. This is one of his crosses. This is Spectabula's cross Truncata Bachiana, cross Maxima, cross Mira, cross Truncata, cross Aloe. So it's got a lot of high-end genes in there. We'll see how it develops. It's a tiny little plant. Over here is my really weird Northiana, and I know some have been inquiring, but as you can see, it does pitcher nodes. It's actually got a nice new one down there, as you can see, and it pops healthy leaves every time. Northiana is a lowland that grows slow, but is very weird. So over here are my two. This is purple plant and Pritchard, and this one are from Red Leaf Exotics. I'm really excited to see it. I also have another one from Red Leaf that's was won in an eBay bid. It's in there. The red one is my Diabolica cross Minima. This one is one that Remy at Windowsill has the seed sibling. I love how it's super like flamingo pink. This is a I have to think about it. Clypeata Ima cross Vechiac cross Lowii. But just look at that coloration. It is literally a hot pink with pink stripes to yellow flare. It popped this a couple weeks after I got it. It's already got a new growth tip. So this one's doing really well. Let's see. I know some have asked if I'm selling plants. I am currently selling this one. And I think it's right behind it. This one, which are, one is an Aristo cross Hamada, which is the smaller one. And this larger one is a Diabolica cross Aristo. Quite like the Diabolica one because when it does show its pictures, they are a neon red. Doesn't currently have any, but it is currently got a bunch of embryo nodes. So when it does finally give us a picture, it will be happy. Just selling it mainly to just make some room so I can get more plants. Let's see, these little seedlings are newer. They're really complex, but this one's already getting kind of like a fun purple coloration / pink in it. These are nice and red. It's already popped a nice new leaf and growth tip. I have a couple of these Edwardsiana crosses. This is from Arizona Nepenthes collection. He sold that over to me. This one is a Glendiflora cross Trismatiensis. This is Glendiflora cross Edwardsiana up here. The Peltata that I got from him recently is doing really well too. And then this one is from Josh's Carnivorous Plants, obviously, because I have his original tag on it. That Peltata doing quite well. So those are like the core plants I can think of offhand that I go over. Clypeata Bongso had its leaf. This is my belly eye Aristocoloids, or belly eye cross Aristo. I hate saying the Aristocoloids. It is vining. It's also got a basil. I'm really thinking about cutting that basil and putting it in its own thing and possibly selling it. So that's the big update. End of May, what it's doing. I only lost my Glendiflora seedling, which been having problems. It's been battling mold and rot, so it finally passed. Thank you everybody who's been following my channel and sending your support and your prayers. I do appreciate it. If you all want to talk to me, I'm on Instagram, Wise Exotics, or Twitter, or chat here in the comments. Wise Exotics out.